Hi, I'm Josh from the Darling Stories, and today we're going to make an Alice in Wonderland themed headband. Here are some of the materials you will need to make the Alice in Wonderland headband. So, obviously, for Alice in Wonderland you need a set of cards. We went and bought 2 sets of the same deck from the dollar store and picked out the Queen of Hearts, obviously. And we'll be using these to make this. This is half done. This is just a prototype to see if the concept would work. And you obviously will need other things. We've got this little lace netting picked up from pretty much any craft store. Same with the ribbon. You can get that at pretty much any craft store, even at Walmart. The headbands that we're using the hard headbands. We picked these up at Walmart. We also have a soft headband. You can pick these up, I think, at Walmart or any other craft store. But we didn't want to use this because with the cards, I was afraid that it would just fall off too easily and not work out very well. So we're not going to use that. We picked up little sticky, diamondy things from the craft store as well. We feel that it'll add a nice little touch. You add it into the little middle of the heart there and it looks pretty neat. Alright, so let's get started with step 1. Alright, so we got our cards, the Queen of Hearts. You can really use whatever you want. The Queen of Hearts for Alice in Wonderland is an obvious card to use. And so we're going to make it into this bow. So we're going to make each one. I like to make the bottom one a little bit fatter than the top one just to kind of give it that depth. So the first one we'll make is the bottom one. And the first step is to fold it in half so you know where to cut the card. You're going to be very careful to not make a crease too early. Otherwise you could fold it in the wrong place and it'll be uneven. So I like folding it like this where it's still kind of rounded at the end, and then you just kind of slowly go down until you make a little bit of a crease. Now don't fold the whole thing over because we just want to mark where the middle is on each side there, and then we'll cut from there. And don't worry too much about it if it's like crooked like that. It's not going to be too visible when you go to fold these, how crooked you made it. And it looks like I may have made this one a little thin, so this might just end up being my top one. But the next step is to fold it into a kind of a bow. Let's fold this one here and just kind of judge about how thick you want the outside of it. I'm going to go not quite to the end, so I'm just gonna put my thumb here so that's where I want the fold to kind of stop. Crease it right here in the middle, and then just fold that and keep it rounded the rest of the way. Do that with all the other sides as well. And there you go. Now all we need to do is glue these together right where they meet. So you want to pay attention to that. I don't have a pen or anything here to mark it, but it might be a good idea to mark it. I'm just going to eyeball it. It worked out well the first time. And you'll end up having the finished product. So let's get our hot glue gun. You can pick these up anywhere that you need. Walmart, any craft store. Be very careful. They are extremely high temperature and you can burn yourself even with just the glue, so make sure you don't get too much on your fingers, if any. And there's your first one. Now, do the same to the other card. So with the top one, I folded it a little past it so that the actual bow itself will be skinnier than the original one. And we'll work out kind of fitting them together once we put them side by side. Alright, so now I've got both of them glued. Now I'm just going to kind of flatten them out, just kind of shape them a little bit to make it look a little nicer. These ones I want to make them look a little wider, so I'm going to just kind of shorten that little curve down a little bit. And kind of put them together without gluing, just to kind of see how they look. See which way you want to do it, maybe around, see what you like better. Alright, and now we're going to glue them together. Now how I'm going to glue them together is I'm going to keep them both a little bit folded. Once I glue them, they don't want to move too much. And I'm going to add the glue on like this, right there, because that's all I really want glued. I'm going to add it right there into the middle. Alright, now we have the card bow. Now you can stop here if you want. You can add little diamonds. What I wanted to do was add on a little bit of frilliness, because that's Becca. She likes frilliness. So I'm going to add a little bit more to that. So I pre-made this one. I just kind of folded it and then shaped it into a bow and then hot glued that part. I did actually burn myself there a little bit. I took my finger with the glue, so be very careful. I'd recommend wearing gloves or something to pinch that together. And then I just made it to where you can actually just stuff it right in there and pull it through here. And we'll glue that later to the cards. And you shape it outside of the card and make it look a little pretty. Alright, so let's get to making that. Just folding it, and another one. I'm going to kind of just shape it to the card. Size that you want, just kind of make it a little tiny bit bigger than the card itself. So I'm going to cut just a little bit of excess off here. And let's see what that looks like. So then, this is where I said be careful. We're going to glue into the mesh. Kind of just want to get it in there. Once you have it cut down and sized up, you just fit it in there, get it to fit. You might run into this problem where you might need to trim up the other one or vice versa. So you want to make it to where you fit in there kind of flush. There we go. And we will just glue those right now. We don't need to hold them together. Not fit enough glue to kind of hold them in there. Alright, go ahead and grab the headband, elastic ribbon, and the sticky rhinestones. We are going to place this on the headband. So I'm gonna both glue it on as well as wrap the elastic ribbon around there, and also glue the ribbon onto the card and around the headband. And then we'll add on the rhinestones at the very end. So I recommend putting the headband on the person that's going to be wearing it and figuring out about where you want to put the bow. I've already done that, so I know it should be about right there. And so I'm going to get our hot glue gun, put it on the headband, get it in that cloth. You want to make sure that it is really well in there, and then push on and hold the bow there. And you want to do that until it hardens, which should take about a couple seconds. You kind of want to let it naturally harden, otherwise it hardens too quickly and can come right off. You don't have to. Once it's dried, you can measure out the amount of elastic ribbon you need. We use elastic ribbon because it'll form very nicely to the card and the band. Let's see, maybe I want to do this twice. Really get it on there. I'll go with once. Alright, so once you've measured it out, just find out where you need to cut it. We'll do right about there. Fabric scissors work really well. And then I'm going to glue it on here, not on the card, but right here on the fabric. Alright, so once that's dried, you can pull around the other side, and if you cut it right, it should just fit. We're going to glue that. And hold it there until it's all dry. It will be a little hot. Once that's all dried, we can add on the final touches, the rhinestones. Another final touch that I was thinking about as making this is maybe gluing on a little tiny fabric rose. So that is the Alice in Wonderland headband. It's finished. It's a wonderful idea. If you'd like to see more ideas like that and have a way to keep Disney in your daily life, go follow us on our blog at thedarlingstories.wordpress.com. You can find a link in the description.